Alright, so Justice's album, first debut album, Cross, 2007, electro house, electronic dance music. Think something like Daft Punk's older brother or their evil twin, whatever you prefer. So, what a start with Genesis having that kind of fire and brimstone horns to begin with, and then the bass comes in and creates this like dark universe that's cool to explore. Then it smoothly transitions into Let There Be Light, which keeps that kind of dark, fuzzy bass sound about it, but has these added kind of electro sort of screeches on top as well. So the first two tunes do a lot to create the kind of theme that the album title's already created here, Cross. Keep that going. And then after this, you start hearing other stuff coming in as well. So to keep that sound throughout the album, you hear this other stuff coming in. So with DVNO, The Party, and Dance, the next tune, all having live vocals. So Dance had a choir provided by the Foundation for Youth Musicians going. So not usually a fan of choirs, but if you're ever going to listen to one, this choir do it proper. The Party has a vocalist that it's like a kind of pop, it is pretty pop kind of tune, has a vocalist kind of similar to like someone like Kesha. So the tune really sounds like a electro remix of a pop tune, pop dance tune, something like that. And DVNO has a guest vocalist, and that's who the tune's named after. His name's Divino or something like that. It's shortened to DVNO, and that's the guy you hear singing. All three of these tunes, to be honest, you could you'd be forgiven for thinking all three of these could be proper big pop charting sort of tunes. So apart from this, we have New Jack, which has some really cool kind of electro scat singing on it. We've got a Stress, which I have to admit was a bit of a disappointment. I heard the live version, 6 minute live version, which is amazing. But Stress, it does kind of create that feeling of stress in you. We're kind of like you've got these legato sort of bassiness about it, but then you've got these really short, sharp, higher notes going, and they just create a feeling of angst. And oh, Jesus Christ, it kind of scares you. And then to end the album, you've got Waters of Nazareth and Minutes to Midnight, both being kind of old schooler sort of versions of EDM. So I know Minutes to Midnight was recorded 2 years before this album actually came out. But both of these tunes have the kind of I don't know, the kind of EDM bits of disco throughout the album, and in these tunes sort of sounds an older version kind of the same thing is what it sounds like. So Minutes to Midnight is such a perfect kind of cadence to this album, just smoothly gliding you down to end the album with. So with this album, every tune kind of goes into the next one. So I think with this kind of music, electro, all that stuff, it would suit so perfectly, as of an album by itself, obviously, but in any mix, any playlist, because the tunes glide into each other. So despite this, it's not like it's like so suddenly the tune stops and then there's a second and then the next tune starts. They do very smoothly glide into each other. But then Phantom and Phantom 2 actually are a really good example of this, which is even though they glide into each other. Because if you wanted to put it on shuffle or just randomly one of the tunes comes out of nowhere, Phantom 2 starts exactly how Phantom 1 ends. But it's not like it sounds like it's when you start Phantom 2, it's not like it sounds like, oh, where's what came before that. It's not like it sounds like there was meant to be a tune that got cut out or something like that. Phantom 2 starts and it sounds like its own tune. And then, but the mixing of this is so well done that it does kind of, each tune glides into the next one. So yeah, the production on this is absolutely amazing with that sort of thing. As for whether this album has, and Justice as well, by the way, have any ties to any religion or anything, well, God only knows that. But overall, this album, fantastic. One of the biggest things about it was Zed in 2020, I think it was, or something, actually said of all the albums, that is really one to listen to. So when your peers are saying that this is a good album, it's probably a good idea to listen to them. And yes, this album definitely lives up to that. So, brilliant album. Until next time, take it easy.